Hey, what up, BGK gang? This is Andre of Big Gemini Kennels, aka BGK. Welcome back. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment, let us know what you're thinking. Make sure you hit that alert notification so you're notified every time we drop new content, and that's going to be frequently because we came to drop bombs. Beast mode. Hey, what up? So today, Dre BGK is here to hit you with a story time. Let's get ready for a BGK story time. This story is about the time that two of my dogs got into a vicious fight and BGKs The Rock bit me. Man, it was crazy. Imagine being alone in your backyard and you have a 120-pound dog and a 150-pound dog. Both of them are American bullies or pitbulls, whatever you want to call them, and they're attacking each other full on. Well, that happened. All right, what's going on, guys? It's Andre with BGK. Back at y'all with another story time. This one is kind of interesting. I wanted to talk to you guys about the first time I had to deal with a dog fight in my own yard, right? Now, what a lot of breeders don't like to tell you is bullies still have somewhat of an aggressive nature in them, and there's going to be times if you're a breeder and you have multiple alpha males on your yard that they're going to get into a fight. We call those kennel fights, right? Now, I don't advocate. Let me start with this. Let me clear this up real quick. This is not an advocation for dog fighting. I'm not a dog fight advocate. I fight dog fighters. I will beat your motherfucking ass if you're a dog fighter. If I find out that you're a dog fighter, we can never be cool. Fuck dog fighters. So let's get that out there. I hate them. However, it is one of the things that you will deal with when you're dealing with this breed. So there is a couple things that I recommend that you have when you're dealing with this breed. If you're going to have multiple alpha males, you want to have a taser. And I really highly recommend this bear spray. It's a bear pepper spray. Now, I've been criticized by other people for saying that I have those at my house. However, if I have two males fighting, my goal is to immediately separate them and cause as little injury to either dog during that process, right? I don't want to see these dogs fight, and I don't want to hurt them when I'm separating them from the potential fighting. And sometimes this happens without knowing, because if you breed and you have a couple dogs that are grown up together, especially two males you place together, siblings, a lot of times I'll keep a couple brothers and keep them together. They'll be cool to a certain age, and all of a sudden they start getting that testosterone flowing through their system, and they want to kind of check each other. They want to kind of test each other, push the boundaries, and that could lead to a dog fight. It might start off as a skirmish, and you kind of break them up. Then they get a little bit more serious, and I want to end that fight as quick as possible. If they're outside, the first thing I'm going to do is hit them with like a few second burst of pepper spray right to their noses. You want to hit them in the nose because they have super sensitive noses. So you can spray them on the nose. I try to spray them as little as possible because I know I'm going to have to take a water hose and wash them down afterwards to make sure that they're clear. You know, and I'll do it multiple times, and my people that are around me, they help me with that also. If it happens, they'll help me spray these dogs down and make sure that they're okay afterwards, check them, make sure that there's no serious wounds, and then life goes on. Now, I got to this point over time. Let me tell you about my first dog fight when I was unprepared, and the reason why I am prepared now. Now, what had happened was I had did my first breeding. My first breeding was Disciple and Jules, right? I told y'all about that in another story time. If you want to know about my Disciple and Jules breeding, ICKs, Iron Cross Kennels Disciple, and BGKs Jules, then you go ahead and check out that video. But anyway, I did my first breeding with ICKs, Disciple, BGKs Jules, and it gave me Zilla. So Zilla was my first male that I produced and I kept that as a breeder. And I was proud of Zilla, man. Zilla, beautiful specimen, awesome dog, but a very serious dog. This dog had no chill. You want a guard dog? Zilla was your guard dog. Like, you cannot come to my fence. If you cross that fence, he's going to eat you. Zilla was probably the reason I didn't get robbed when I was getting my stuff together before I went and bought my bigger house and everything else, because I was kind of in the hood at that point. And when I was getting my stuff together, Zilla was just like on point. Zilla did not play. When I walk with Zilla, people cross the street. We go to the park clears. Like, Zilla looked like what he was. He had a real serious face, serious mug, and that wasn't just for looks. Like, half the pictures, for me to get a good picture of Zilla, I shouldn't even say this, but for me to get a good picture of Zilla, the best way was to put a dog on the other side of the camera, because Zilla's going to get serious and start pulling towards that camera, and then I would take my pictures. So that's why his pictures look like that, because he's looking at another dog, or go to a public place where there's people he don't know, he's going to have that serious look, because that's how Zilla is. Like, Zilla was super serious. So Zilla and I bonded. We're tight. and he's the alpha male of the house. He's guarding the house, and I decide to buy Rock, which is going to be a different story time. But I bought BGKs The Rock for 25 grand, right? So I'm excited. I got this dog, huge dog. BGKs The Rock weighed 150 pounds. Zilla, on the other hand, only weighed like 120 pounds. Now I say only because 120 pounds is still big, but compared to Rock, he was not big. But you got to understand, Zilla's mentality is, I don't care. Like, he had that IDGAF mentality. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's how Zilla is. That's how he's built. So for whatever weird reason, me and Rock bonded immediately. Like, that's not the weird reason, but for whatever weird reason, I thought I can have Zilla and Rock bond. I thought they would be okay because Rock was still very young. Zilla was still young. They're young adults, right? Both of them are young adults at this point. So I'm like, I could put these two dogs together. I'm the alpha around here. They're going to listen to me. Wrong. Wrong. Super dumb. Super dumb. So with that said, I have them both in the backyard and I'm out there with them to watch their interaction, engage their interaction. At this point, I have received Rock. He was flown into me. I picked him up at the LAX, and then we have been bonding. And every time I was taking him out before this, I would put Zilla up, take Rock out, let him use the backyard, and then I would bring him back into the house and let Zilla run the yard so he could protect the house and keep Rock on the inside. This day, I decided I'm going to combine these two. I'm going to have me two badass dogs running the yard. Zilla and Rock are going to be best buddies, and that's what it's going to be. Wrong. So, for whatever reason, they're both by the water bowl. I'm outside in the backyard with them, but I'm on my phone. I'm not really watching them close because they sniff. They did the initial thing that dogs do. This is what dogs do when they meet each other, especially males. They sniff each other's ass, tails are up. They kind of do a standoff. And then if it's going to happen, usually that's when it happens because they're both at alert. They're tense. They're in front of each other. So they had that moment, but nothing happened. They both walked off towards the water bowl. So as they walk off towards the water bowl, I let my guard down a little bit. Like, okay, they're not tripping. I'm not tripping. And it's not going to be that bad. Okay, this is going to work out. Cool. I'm lucky. Wrong. So as they go towards the water bowl, I don't see them start to fight. I hear it because I'm on the phone. And all of a sudden I hear, rrr, and when I hear that, I look. They both are lunging and locking onto each other's necks. Like they are not around. This is a full-on dog fight. It went from 0 to 100, from let's drink from the water bowl together to you. I think one of them must have got territory over the water bowl. If not one of them, it had to be Zilla. Let's be real. Zilla is definitely going to start this fight. Rock wasn't being the antagonist. Zilla was already not feeling Rock because there's a new male in town and he's been there for his entire life. Like Zilla was born with me and stayed with me, so that's all he knows is me. And now he sees this other male. So in hindsight, of course, I get why he's tripping. But at the end of the day, I hear this crazy sound and both these dogs are clashing. They're biting each other. And Zilla, for whatever reason, has Rock. And I'm tripping like, damn. Like Zilla actually has Rock by the throat. So I go and I pull, like, this is why you need the bear spray. Today, I would take the bear spray, run my ass out there and flood them with it real quick. And that would be it. Fight over instantly, right? But I did not have anything with me. I was ill prepared. I was a dumb young breeder at this point, thinking I can put these two dogs together, and I'm not prepared for what's about to happen. I should have had at least a break stick. A break stick is really good to have. I should have had something ready to go, which I didn't. So Zilla is attacking Rock, and Rock is attacking Zilla. They're clashing, but as they clash, Zilla gets underneath Rock, and he's latched onto Rock's neck. As he latches onto Rock's neck, I see it. I come running. I grab Zilla by, he has a choke collar on. Rock has a choke collar on. So I'm holding them both, and I am like losing my energy because I'm trying to hold two dogs by two different collars up, and I'm choking them both, trying to get their feet off the ground, but Rock's just too heavy for me to get his feet off the ground. I got Zilla off the feet off the ground, and that's good because he's the one that has a mouthful of Rock's neck in his mouth. So I know he's only breathing through his nose because he can't breathe through his mouth right now. He's only breathing through his nose because he can't breathe through his mouth right now because his mouth is closed around Rock's neck. Now, as I'm pulling back on Zilla's collar and his feet are off the damn ground, I finally get him to the point where he can't breathe and he releases, right? So as he releases, I'm tired, I release Rock's leash, collar. As I release Rock's collar, I'm holding Zilla, Rock bounces back and comes for Zilla's throat, man. And I mean, he's coming like, he's not playing now. Like, he realizes this dog attacked him and Rock is pissed. I've never seen him in this mode before. He's in, I'm about to kill this dog mode. And as he, the only thing that stops it is as he bites into Zilla's neck, he gets my hand. I don't know if it's what tooth from his mouth punctured, but as he closes down, he punctures into my hand, right here into my hand. His tooth goes in there. So as his tooth goes into my hand, I'm like, ah! And as I scream, Rock immediately releases. So yeah, my dog just bit me. BGKs The Rock bit Dre. It happened. But he did not intentionally bite me. And as soon as he realized he bit me from my scream, he released. He immediately released and went back. So I was able to back him up, pull Zilla out, put Zilla in the kennel, and then I put Rock into the house, and I'm running in the house. I got all this blood coming out of my hand. I mean, his tooth sunk in. He was biting to kill, right? So his tooth sunk deep into my hand, and Rock's acting like he feels like shit. You can tell he feels like shit. He's all groveling at my feet. I'm sitting there like putting alcohol and stuff on my hand. So the way that ends is really shitty for me anyway. The next day or 2 days later, I don't remember the time period, but I try to take care of it at home because I don't want to go into the doctor and tell them that my dog that I just paid $25,000 for bit me in the hand and try to explain that my dog didn't turn on me. This is Los Angeles, and LA Animal Control is going to take my dog. I'm telling you, they're going to take my dog. So I'm trying to take care of the wound at home, and then I start seeing pus and dog hair just like oozing out of my left hand, and it's swollen bad, man. I got pus and dog hair oozing from my hand. I'm like, why the hell do I have pus and dog hairs oozing from my hand? And then I realized the body has a tendency to naturally eject foreign objects that are embedded in it, right? So that pus is forming around the hair. The hair is on the teeth of Rock. So as he bit Zilla and bit into me, he pressed Zilla's dog hairs into my hand. That's why the pus and the hairs are coming up out of my hand. Gross, like, ugh. So at this point, I got pus and dog hair coming out of my hand because my body's rejecting the dog hair that he embedded when he bit me. And I realized I'm gonna have to go to the doctor. Damn, what the hell am I gonna say to the doctor? I can't tell him that my dog bit me. Like, that's not happening. So I go in there and I told him I was at the park and there was a dog that tried to attack me and I didn't know the dog. And that was just the wrong thing to say. And I'll tell you why it's the wrong thing to say. When you tell them that you didn't know the dog, they have to give you a tetanus shot. There's no getting around it. And I'm talking about they come out with a long needle, big long ass needle, like, are you sure you don't know the dog? Because if you do, you just tell us and we can check his rabies vaccinations and you don't have to get this shot. I'm like, nah, I don't. You don't have to give me the shot. I don't know the dog, man. I don't know the dog, and I got this stuff oozing out of my hand, so give me the shot. And I had to take the shot like a champ, and I hate needles. I hate needles. Hate them. But for my dog, I do what I got to do. So with all that being said, if you don't want this to be you, and you don't want to end up going through the dumbass shit that I went through, and I'm telling you, if you're a breeder, or if you have multiple American bullies, if you have multiple pit bulls, you're going to deal with a dog fight at some point, and you want to end it quick, make sure you have a break stick, because a break stick is great for breaking up dog fights real quick without hurting the dogs. A taser and pepper spray. I told you the pepper spray. I will leave a link in the description so that you can go ahead and purchase this. I don't get nothing from this. You click the link and you'll be able to buy it. I'll put that in the description because I really believe in this product that much. I'm not endorsing it as somebody that's getting paid from it. I'm going to make nothing from this, but it is called Frontiers Bear Attack Deterrent. It's meant to break up bears from attacking humans. So it definitely works on dogs. It definitely does. So with that being said, take some notes from me. Be careful on putting alpha males together. Be careful on females together. When they come in the heat, that's usually when, if a female and a female is going to fight. I've had bad incidents with that too. When you have two females that have been friends forever, they come in the heat, I mean, you will see the bitch come out in them because they will attack each other over nothing other than just being in heat. If you have a female in heat, it's going to make your other dogs more aggressive around them, the males too. So just beware of that. Kind of take some of this knowledge and utilize it for yourself. I'll recap real quick. If you have a dog in heat, if you have males that are coming of age, if you have multiple alpha males on your yard, if you have new males that you're introducing to your yard, be very careful. Hopefully you don't get in a fight. But your dogs don't get in a fight. But if they do, I just told you the deterrent to use. That mace works great. A bite stick works great. A taser works great. But have something on hand. Be prepared so it doesn't happen to you the way it happened to me. I got real lucky because you got to imagine that's what, a 120-pound dog, another 150-pound dogs, that's 270 pounds, almost 300 pounds of dog that I'm trying to separate by myself in the backyard. Luckily, I was man enough to do that because I'm Andre BGK. But anyway, look, once you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you want to hear more stories like this, let me know. I'll try to make sure that I don't just tell you stories, but I try to make sure I give you some game, some wisdom, some insight, so you don't just listen to something interesting, but you actually have something to take away. All right, I'm out.